Africa's investment world. This podcast is brought to you by Daba, your most comprehensive platform for investing in African stocks, bonds, and managed funds. You can download the Daba app on your favorite Google and Apple app stores. The trading session on Tuesday, September 23rd, brought some impressive gains for several key stocks on the BRVM, while the bond market saw a surge in activity. Let's break it all down, and most importantly, let's explore what it means for you as an investor in West Africa. We'll begin with the strongest gainers of the day. The top performer was SETAO Côte d'Ivoire. Its stock jumped 7.50%, closing at 1,075 francs CFA. Since the start of the year, the price has soared by more than 138%. That is remarkable. For investors, this shows how industrial players, especially in construction, are benefiting from infrastructure projects driving growth across the region. Another standout was Oragroup Togo. The share price rose 7.47% to 2,085 francs CFA. This signals renewed confidence in the banking sector, supported by solid financial results. If you hold Oragroup shares, you're likely pleased with this upward move. CFAO Motors, Côte d'Ivoire, also delivered a strong rally, up 7.43% to 1,085 francs CFA. The automobile sector is regaining traction, supported by growing demand for vehicles as consumer spending strengthens. For investors, this is a reminder that cyclical industries can still offer attractive opportunities. Uniwax Côte d'Ivoire continued its extraordinary run. The stock rose 6.56% to close at 1,300 francs CFA. Since January, its value has skyrocketed more than 217%. This is a textbook example of how a textile company can generate massive returns in a short period. For investors, the lesson is clear. Diversification matters, because sometimes the biggest winners come from unexpected sectors. Finally, Bank of Africa Mali advanced 3.49%, closing at 4,150 francs CFA. Since the beginning of the year, the stock has more than doubled. This reflects the bank's resilience and growing optimism about Mali's financial market despite political challenges. For investors holding banking stocks, this is a strong signal that regional finance remains a solid long-term bet. Let's now turn to the day's declines. The sharpest fall came from Bank of Africa Burkina Faso. The stock dropped 7.42%, finishing at 3,870 francs CFA. Despite this setback, the stock is still up more than 27% year-to-date. This correction is a reminder of market volatility in the banking sector. For investors, the key message is diversification by country, because risks vary across markets. Other notable declines included NEI-CDA Côte d'Ivoire down 5.84%, Filtisac down 4.78%, Société Ivoirienne de Banque down 3.42%, and SAPH Côte d'Ivoire down 1.72%. For investors, these dips may represent entry points, particularly if the fundamentals remain strong. Now, let's talk about the indices. The BRVM Composite Index ended the session at 323.35 points, edging up 0.07%. Since the start of the year, it has gained more than 17%. This confirms that the regional market remains broadly bullish. The BRVM Prestige Index closed at 136.63 points, rising 0.08%. On a yearly basis, it is up almost 19%. This index, which tracks the largest companies, shows that institutional investors continue to put their confidence in the market. The BRVM 30 Index, which tracks the 30 biggest stocks by capitalization, slipped slightly by 0.16% to 160.40 points. Still, it has advanced more than 15% since January. For investors, this means that while corrections happen, the broader trend is positive. Looking at sector trends, discretionary consumer stocks stood out, climbing 3.75% for the day and nearly 40% year-to-date. This tells us households are spending more on non-essential goods, a sign of improved economic confidence. On the other hand, agriculture stocks fell 1.28%, though they remain up more than 72% for the year. This underlines how commodity-linked sectors are still highly sensitive to global prices and weather conditions. Turning now to the bond market, which saw a particularly strong session. Bond market capitalization increased by 0.86%, reaching nearly 11 trillion francs CFA. Trading volume more than doubled compared to the previous session, with more than 232,000 securities exchanged. representing a value above 2 billion francs CFA. Several new sovereign bonds from Mali debuted on the BRVM, including 10-year and 8-year maturities with attractive coupons above 6%. For investors, these are opportunities to diversify into fixed income assets while supporting national development. Senegalese bonds also saw strong demand, with notable trades on 7-year and 10-year issues. Yields around 6.5% remain competitive, especially compared to global markets where rates are still elevated. We should also highlight upcoming offerings like Sucrevoir and SODAC, which will combine bond coupons with dividend payments on shares. For investors, that means a dual opportunity to capture both income and growth. To sum up, the session of September 23rd was defined by sharp gains in stocks such as SETAO, Oragroup, CFAO Motors, Uniwax, and Bank of Africa, Mali. The indices remain firmly in positive territory for the year, even with sectoral dips, and the bond market continues to provide stable, attractive income opportunities for those building balanced portfolios. For those of you who want to go further, remember that Daba Pro is your partner. With Daba Pro, you get weekly stock recommendations, exclusive analysis, and reduced investment fees. With Daba Pro, you don't just follow the markets, you get ahead of them. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Daba Markets Talk podcast. We'll be back tomorrow with another update. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating, follow us, and share with friends. Remember, this information is for educational purposes. Always do your own research or consult with a financial advisor before making investment decisions. And download the Daba app on your app store to start investing in African stocks, bonds, and manage portfolios through your phone and find other helpful content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing your financial knowledge.